So already, we've travelled everywhere and there hasn't really had security with us. I haven't seen that many firearms. We've turned up in this neighbourhood and it's machine guns everywhere.
We are in Peduel town in Samaria, in central of Samaria. And first of all, welcome. We very appreciate you and what you are doing, not just for England and for Israel, for the future of the world. Okay. We understand the situation. Now we are in the Donald Trump National Lookout. The central, the biggest and important lookout in Israel. And from this point, we can understand all the situation of State of Israel.
Yep.
I believe that our biggest enemy, our biggest enemy is ignorance. Before the anti-Semitism, before the pro-radical Islamic activities, the ignorance. For example, the situation of State of Israel. This is a map of Israel, $10 a piece. And all the time that I'm coming to Washington, D.C. or European Union to explain what happened on the ground, not in the newspapers. I take this map with me. Between the Mediterranean and Jordan River, or like the peace activities, so-called in London, they are crying from the river
to the sea.
That's it. We have.
It's this land here.
That's it. This is Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, Ben Gurion Airport, your hotel.
Yep.
Judea, Samaria, my region. So between the Mediterranean and Jordan River, we have 70 kilometers. Samaria Mountains, our region, are 55 kilometers from them. So these politicians in European Union, for example, or in London, that really would like to take Samaria Mountain out from the State of Israel. They really stay and put all the State of Israel with just 15 kilometers under our mountains. It looks like a joke, so take a look and we can see this on the ground, on the reality. We are in Peduel. This is Peduel. Hi. This is Peduel here. This is a point.
So we're understanding the importance of this land. If that is the financial hub and the heartbeat of Israel, then whoever controls this land where we're standing now is of pivotal importance for security, because if this land, like when the Golan Heights was taken, if this land was controlled by the Palestinian Authority or by jihadists or any other organisations, then the vulnerability of Tel Aviv and the State of Israel and the people of Israel, this land is incredible.
You recall how long it took us to get from Tel Aviv to here?
It took us 10 minutes. So and we've just drove through. I hear a lot about the fact there can be no peace because of the settlers. That's what people say. Yeah, there can be no peace because of the settlers. We've just drove through a huge community of Jews who are living on the land, in their land.
And all the so-called green line, that this ignorance politicians talk to destroy, after these politicians talk and want to destroy our communities and bring all these big mountains to our enemies.
So what you said is the European Union and other, the other side of the argument is that these mountains should be given to who?
To our peace partners, like the peace partners from Gaza Strip, when October 7 did the real peace in the Middle East. You know, before we evacuated our communities in Gush Katif, in the Gaza Strip, our lefter politicians, for example, our former President Shimon Peres, they told that after we evacuated our communities in Gaza Strip will be
Singapore.
Exactly, Singapore of the Middle East. So October 7 is Singapore. Why?
When we're talking about 2005, when all the Jews were forcefully removed from the Gaza Strip with the intention that then this would be the land of the Palestinians and then we would have peace, and that has not proven as anything. We've just seen continued war coming from the Gaza Strip. So they're giving the equivalence, I guess, that if the same happened here, it's the same problem. Instead of having the Gaza Strip, you'd have an enemy here who are intent on the destruction of the State of Israel, which is just there.
And Gaza Strip is on the back, small zone, not big mountains. Samaria and Judea are big mountains in the central. And just imagine October 7 with Palestinian state, like the first Palestinian state in Gaza Street. This is Tel Aviv. And behind us, if we take a look, it's like a big right line. Do you know what is it? This is Ben Gurion Airport, under us.
Ah, yeah.
This is.
Okay, so
You can see the control tower of Ben Gurion.
to stand here, basically, Gaza Strip, you can try and control an enemy in Gaza Strip a lot easier than you can control an enemy if the equivalent, i.e. Hamas, Palestinian Authority, had this advantage point. That's the main airport for Israel. That's the main city of Israel. How could you defend yourself from this unless the state of Israel was in control of this land? That's the equivalent argument, I guess, that you're looking at.
Especially after October 7.
Especially if and you come in here, when you come here visually, you can stand here and look at the advantage point, and I'd be saying we need to control this advantage point. Yeah, we cannot have the enemy having control of. When we say the enemy who are quite openly intent on the total destruction and murder of every Jew. It's in their policy of every Jew. Yeah, that's their point. So standing here makes it quite easy to see why you'd need to control this area, because the vulnerability of your major city and your major airport. Okay,
I must tell you, after this, it's very important to understand why Judea and Samaria mountains and our communities are security belt of State of Israel. But we never forget that before all of this, Judea and Samaria and Jerusalem is a Bible land. Because before all of this, good people like you, like us, we are take a look after the justice. And I don't think that we have another nation in the world with so strong and long relationship like the Jews and the land of the Jews, land of Israel. One year ago, group of MEPs, members from European Parliament, host me in their conference. And I bring this map. And I show them the situation of State of Israel before October 7, after October 7. And they asked me, okay, Yossi, we are understanding now after October 7 that you must take the control over these mountains to protect your country, your cities. But what about the occupation? So I asked them, tell me please, we are living in Jerusalem, Judea and Samaria. What is Judea? They told me Judea is from Jews. So I asked them, tell me please, gentlemen, how Jewish can to be occupier in Judea? It's ridiculous. And I think this is a point. I must tell you one more story. Yep. One important reporter from France. He came half year ago to Samaria and did an interview with me. And he asked me a lot of hard questions because he was ignorant about what happened on the ground. And I don't think it's very pro-Israeli. And after all the questions, he told me, okay, I understand, but please let me know about what you agree give up for them for peace. So I told him I agree give up them Paris. Yeah. So he asked me, what? I don't know Paris. He told me, it's a shame on you. You don't respect me. It's our capital. I told him, yes, it's your capital. How many years Paris is your capital? 400 years. 4.5 years. Jerusalem, yes, less. Jerusalem is our capital 3,500 years. And Judea and Samaria, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob walk here 3,500 years ago here. So because this, first of all, we must understand, we must educate to all the people in the world that Judea and Samaria and of course Jerusalem is a Bible land, it's our spirit. And from this spirit we are protecting all the big cities of State of Israel, and especially after October 7, we, the so-called the settlers, the terrible settlers, the pioneers who live and build the Bible land, we are protecting, we are security belt of State of Israel. And just imagine October 7 with Palestinian state without our communities here. From Gaza Strip, there was occupying in October 7 until Ofakim. It's 25 kilometers a day, half day. Just imagine from these mountains, they can destroy the state of Israel.
So the point Yossi's making is that regardless of security, just forget security anyway. Yeah, that's the other argument. Forget security. Judea, which is where we are, Samaria, are the land of the Jews. It's their land anyway. So take the security aspect out. I can stand here quite easily, and you'd understand. Well, it's obvious why they need to control these mountains. It's obvious why the state of Israel has control of this. But even if you take away the security threat and the terrorist threat, they're saying historically it's their land, and the equivalent is the argument with France and these countries is, but this is our land. It's been our land for 3,500 years, not 400 years. So I get the argument, I get the point. What about where we've just drove through? We've just drove up here. I saw recently there was a pregnant lady. Can you tell me that?
Yes,
can you tell me that story so that because as we've come in here, there seems to be a lot more security as we've drove into this area with checkpoint than when we've been in Tel Aviv or we've been in Jerusalem. Why is that? And tell me recently what happened to that pregnant lady.
Yes. Unfortunately, before and then after Oslo Accord, it's another world. Because we bring all the psychopaths and terrorists and criminals from Tunisia, the gang of PLO with Yasser Arafat, and bring them the control over all the Muslim villages and towns and cities here. And after 32 years of Nazi education system of Palestinian Authority, they learn Mein Kampf of Hitler. They educate that all the Jews are
Apes and pigs.
Yes.
Infidels that needs to be murdered.
Yes.
So you're saying that the Oslo Accords give control to the Palestinian Authority or the PLO? This is an Arab village?
Yes. For example, this Dir Balut. And we can see from this mountain, top of the mountain, Tel Aviv, Ben Gurion, but also they can see. And without our control, they take the control like in Gaza Strip. And first of all, it's Nazi education system.
Islam or Nazi?
Of course. And two, the money, the budget. You know, in the Palestinian Authority, in Israel, all the mothers dream that their sons, their children will be doctors, high-tech managers. In Palestinian Authority, the salary of teacher is approximately 1,500 shekel a month. If you can do an analphabet. If you murdered, kill Jew, your salary, not under the table, by the book, by the Palestinian Authority law, by the law, yes, like Minister Shikli told, your salary is 8 times from the salary of teacher.
You understand this? This is the pay for slay. So what you're saying is a teacher will get 1,500 a month, say, but you'll get 8 times that if you go and kill an Israeli. And that is the government of these areas who are in control. This is the government that that are in control that we just give a recognised Palestinian state to. Yeah? The Palestinian Authority will pay you 8 times more to go and kill someone, and they give you this money for the rest of your life for your family. So they are paying and rewarding people to come and kill Israelis, but the people who are paying and rewarding to go and kill Israelis are the government that our Keir Starmer has just recognised and give recognition to and legitimacy to. They've just legitimised that government, and if we're in Britain, our taxpaying money funds that government. So our taxpaying money goes to paying the government in control of that village there, who are bringing the children up to aspire to come and kill Jews, whether it be for a religious motive, a conflict motive, or a financial motive. Yeah, this was the biggest shock to me when I come here in 2016 and I found out that people are rewarded, because I always thought everything was jihad. I did, yeah. But then I looked at it very differently and thought, well, if you want to escape a refugee camp, if you want to, the only really option you've got, go and kill an Israeli. And then not just do you escape it, but your next generations forever escape it, because they're financially rewarded for eternity. They continue to get in, what I didn't realise, 8 times more than the salary of a teacher. So the financial incentive for you to leave these villages and go and kill and murder Israelis. It's huge.
Two more comments.
Which is mercenaries, which is hiring the Palestinian Authority are paying mercenaries to go and attack innocent civilians. So,
Two more comments about the pay for slave. Like, if you killed more and you're sentenced to more years in prison, you'll get a higher salary. So it depends
So it's-
on the gravity of the terror attack. The more Israelis you killed, the more imprisoned you are in terms of the punishment. You'll get more money. And by the way, you can also, it's not if, you'll get a rank from the Palestinian Authority, like a military rank or a police rank, because it's a police force, when you are released from prison based on the gravity of the terror attack and the results of it. So that is one thing regarding the faithful slave mechanism. And second, regarding education. In order to bring a young man to take the phone, to call his mother and father and say, hey, look, mom, father, I've killed 10 Israelis with my bare hand, you need an indoctrination system. So as Yossi mentioned, an Israeli child in kindergarten, the most popular song in every single garden, Tel Aviv, Pduel, Jerusalem, North, South, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יגיע. I was born for peace to arrive. Every child in Israel knows this song in kindergarten. They sing it. It's a very nice. אני נולדתי, וכו' וכו'. Now, if you go to every village in the Palestinian Authority, here in the
so this village just there, so in this village just here, we're about here, what song is the most famous song for the kids?
When you go here, they will teach the kids irhab, which means go and stab and fight. And the most noble thing and the highest thing you can do, it's not a mercenary because they believe in it, to be a shaheed, okay? If you are a shaheed, you will have the city square named upon you. You will have the school named upon you. It is the most honorable thing to do is actually to go fight and kill innocent Jews, soldiers, doesn't matter.
And let's just understand, so you get the financial reward, yeah, as they do. And as he's saying, they name buildings, they name roads within the communities after the men who have gone out and killed the Jews or killed the Israelis. But not just that. At some point, you probably know that there's going to be a negotiation to do with hostages, like we've seen on October 7th, where all of those men who have been imprisoned, thousands of them, have just been released. So not only have you had the financial reward, at some point, because this has happened time and time again in every one of these conflicts, there's a mass release of jihadists and terrorists who have already killed, had the financial reward of already killing, and they know at some point they're going to grab more Jews and they're going to negotiate more of a bargaining position with the support of the European Union and the support of all the Western leaders who are going to be encouraging Israel to do some sort of peace agreement. And the recent peace agreement is the release. How many Jews were in this? Just so we can understand, in this most recent peace agreement, where 9 or was it 13 Israelis were released by Hamas? 12? 20. Okay, 20 were released. How many terrorists who have killed 7 kids, one of them, who have gone on killing sprees, how many terrorists were released?
250.
250. So 20. So you can see the negotiating position of the Palestinian Authority and the benefit of what they've done by kidnapping the Israelis.
I must tell you one more important point about this big salaries of the high tech of the Palestinian Authority, kill Jews. First of all, it's not matter from which organizer are you. The Palestinian Authority bring the money, these big salaries for the terrorists from Hamas, all of them.
So it
same.
Yeah, okay.
Same. 2, unfortunately, is from your tax money. Because you bring them billions of euros for education, for hospitals. No. They take the money to these salaries because this is their base. And Mahmoud Abbas, the chairman of the Palestinian Authority, told a few months ago, formally, not under the table, he's brave to say this, that if we have the last penny, last cent, we will bring this last coin to this terrorist before the education system, because the social issues. This is like the the number one holy rule in Palestinian Authority. Holy issue is this big salaries to the terrorists. Why? Because their agenda is a budget all the Jews.
So in a negotiating position, the British government, the French government have just recognised the Palestinian state. They could have been negotiating with the Palestinian state to remove the pay-to-slave process before giving recognition to their state.
It's 100% 2nd October 7. Why? Because they never quiet about this. This is not a secret. They are brave. Also, people from Fatah.
But it is a secret to the British public. It's probably a secret to the European public. Are the British? Was you aware? If you're watching this, was you aware that the government we just recognised and your taxpayers' money goes to funding the government, who have openly said that if they had their last pennies, it would not be going on the education system. It would be going to pay their people to kill Israelis. I wasn't aware of this when I come here in 2016. I'm pretty certain the majority of the British public are not aware of this, and our government have just recognised, legitimised the Palestinian Authority, and they continue to pump our money into the Palestinian Authority, who continue to hire and pay to slay Jews, Israelis.
One more point regarding the European Union and the British government. You for sure heard the term settlers' violence. Have you heard it?
I've heard it. I've seen some videos. I've seen,
or apartheid, etc. Yeah. These massive worldwide campaigns are being funded mainly by the EU, also by the British government. They found what we call Israeli organizations, such as Breaking the Silence, such as B'Tselem, and many other organizations from this kind. They send them millions and millions of euros to fund their activities. They are going with campaigns saying that there's a genocide in Gaza, apartheid in Judea and Samaria, settlers' violence, despite the fact that this is the most calm people that we have, and they are not involved in crimes more than anyone in the heart of Israel. And this way, you can delegitimize the Jewish presence here in Judea and Samaria. The entire campaign of settlers' violence is aimed to portray people who live here, ordinary people like me and you, and to say, these are bad people, these are violent people. And the sophisticated way to do it is to take Israeli organizations, Israeli NGOs, left-wing NGOs, to spend millions on these organizations to smear and delegitimize the Jews who are living here.
We hear the allegations of settler violence, and this is a community which would be alleged to be settlers. Can we hear what violence these people face? I know there was a recent attack. Who was it on? Tell me what happened.
Half year ago, my citizen, Sela Gez, she came to Beers, in hospital. And one terrorist from Palestinian Authority shot her. And she died. And in the hospital, the doctor said, take the baby.
So she was pregnant?
Yes.
How far?
She was on the way to Beers.
She was on the way to what? Build a hospital?
Yes.
So she was working on...
To give birth.
She was on the way to give birth?
She was on the way to give birth.
So,
and he shot her, this terrorist from Palestinian Authority. And the doctors in the hospital, after she died, they take the baby and they try to keep him alive 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, unfortunately, he passed away. And for us, for people like us, for regular people, normal people, it's a tragedy. It's an unbelievable tragedy. For the people in the leaders of Palestinian Authority, it was a holiday. This was a holiday. They were celebrating with music, with a statement that we love this, that this terrorist is a hero, and this is a story. Our mission is to live, to smile, to live here, the future, and their mission is dead, is to murdered, is the past. And I believe our war here in Judea and Samaria and here in State of Israel is not just war for us. Also, especially before all of this, is a war for the future of Israel, to protect Israel, to put to stay with Israel now and in the future on the ground in the Middle East. But it's not just our war. We are fighting for the future of Europe, for the United States. It's not just a theoretic. Their agenda of Iran, of Hamas, of the Muslim Brotherhood, also Palestinian Authority, that we are the Israelis, the Jews here in the Middle East, we are just a small Satan. The big Satan is the Western culture, United States of America and Europe. We are just the appetizer. You are the steak. And because this is so important, what you are doing, because you are fighting against the ignorancy, because before all the issues, to win the ignorance. And I believe that we must bring here all the politicians and reporters and talk about Israel and talk about us, my citizens in Judea and Samaria, but they never meet people like me. They never take a look like you came here and to Israel, to Samaria, and take a look. They never saw this point. For example, Minister Shikli explained you about my bodyguards. So why I have bodyguards? Minister Shikli, he have bodyguards because he is minister. I'm not minister. I'm like a mayor. Why I need this? I tell you why. Do you know what is it?
This is a contract and price and effort for you.
To kill me with logo. What is the logo? The logo of Fatah, the party of Mahmoud Abbas, of Palestinian Authority. After this is Hamas and Hezbollah. But before this, the first organized that published with formal logo. Imagine your party in London or Likud party in Israel.
The Labour Party.
Yes, with logo.
Issuing a statement with a contract, kill him, basically.
That's the party.
Forward.
That party that put in his record.
The party that Keir Starmer has just recognised. You know, let's say that out loud. So that female who was pregnant on her way to give birth has been murdered, and the man that's murdered her is going to be financially rewarded by the government. They're in control of that town. The government in control of that town are being funded by us and our taxpayers' money. That's the reality. And how do you? So to the critics, because I know there'll be a lot of critics. There are a lot of critics. To the critics of the state of Israel, how do you protect your country unless you control this? And how do you deal with a government who have openly said, because this isn't, I know this gentleman's just made the accusation that their goal isn't us, it's London, it's the world. That's not that gentleman's opinion. Each one of these organisations have openly said it. Hamas, all these jihad organisations, in fact, on October 8th, they come out and said, our goal is not Israel, it's London, it's New York. Yeah, that's what they want. So how? And I get a lot of criticism, but my argument to everyone is, I understand what they want. Yeah, yes, they want to wipe out Israel, but they also want to wipe out London. They also want to they want to control the world. These organisations, that's how they think. But the biggest thing I think for the British audience here, if you're watching this, is to understand that the government of that Arab village, the government that has just been recognised by France and by Keir Starmer, is funding and paying with your money and our money for that pregnant woman to be shot and killed in the street, and the financial reward forever for the terrorists and jihadists that done it, we're paying for. And Keir Starmer has legitimised, that's the most insulting thing here, because most people won't understand what he's legitimised. He's legitimised the people in control of funding this and of calling for these murders and deaths. That's what and I think as he said, why don't they ever come here and stand and look? Because if you come here and stand and look and understand that that's Tel Aviv, you understand the importance of this land. It's pretty basic. You cannot allow the Palestinian Authority, jihadist groups, who have openly said that their goal is to kill every Jew, to control these mountains. You just can't. Regardless of the historical importance of this land as Judea, home of the Jews, regardless of that, it's the fact that you can't allow them. You just couldn't allow them. We wouldn't allow them. In Great Britain, you wouldn't allow them. You wouldn't allow a terrorist organisation to be in control of the mountains surrounding London. You just wouldn't allow it. You couldn't allow it.